Hello everyone, welcome to CNA, the daily newspaper analysis. So today we are back with some important topics to discuss. But before starting, I just want to convey you all a message that you all wants to avail our offers, discounts, as well as avail some of the best offers. Please do follow us through the Instagram link as well as the WhatsApp group and also the Telegram channel link given in the comment sections below. So now let's start with today's analysis. The first topic says about uniform policy on law and order. Okay, so यहाँ पे we see that recently the Union Ministry addressed the inaugural session of the two-day Chintan Sivir in Surajkund, Haryana. Okay, and in this uh, very session, we could see about our Home Minister said about that states should have a uniform law and order policy as certain crimes such as cross-border terrorism and cyber crimes even transcend some regional and international boundaries. So by 2024, you could see about that the counter-terrorist activities, each state would have an NIA, that is the National Investigation Agency, and they would have been given some of the extraterritorial jurisdiction in related to some of the categories of confiscating properties related to terror funding cases. So now यहाँ पे होम मिनिस्टर के द्वारा बोला गया है कि लाइक स्टेट्स वुड हैव नाउ हैविंग अ नेट ग्रिड. नेट ग्रिड क्या होता है? नेशनल इंटेलिजेंस ग्रिड. ओके, सो ये अभी ऑपरेशनल होंगे, यहाँ पे होम मिनिस्टर के द्वारा बोला गया है. एंड दिस नेट ग्रिड ब्रिंग्स data sets of 11 agencies in a common platform. So, though we know that although this law and order problem is a state subject, okay, associated with the Constitution under the Schedule 7 of the Indian Constitution, which is provided by the Ministry of Home Affairs. So, we could see that this Ministry of Home Affairs could intervene in matters concerning the national security. And even recently, we could see about the amendments to the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act, that is the FCRA, in 2020, successfully preventing the misuse of foreign funding and effectively monitoring became possible. So, after the Article 370 of the Constitution ceased to exist in Jammu and Kashmir in 2019, there had been a 34% reduction in terrorist incidents and a 54 reduction in deaths amongst the security forces. ठीक है, तो इसी के लिए यहाँ पे बोला गया है अबाउट दैट विथ द सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ क्राइम्स नीड्स टू बी टैकल एज सून एज पॉसिबल, वी नीड्स टू हैव अ डेडिकेटेड यूनिफॉर्म पॉलिसी ऑन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर which will give some of the immense powers to respectively the NIA to confiscate properties of the persons who are involved in some number of terror funding cases. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे ये था about this news. नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं गिलगित बल्तिस्तान to reunite with India. Okay, so we know about the areas of Gilgit Baltistan. Okay, so we know this is an important area over here. You can see this area. तो ये बोलते हैं हम लोग गिलगित बल्तिस्तान एरिया. ठीक है, that is presently occupied by Kashmir, that is यहाँ पे Pakistan administered Kashmir. So today Raksha Mantri, when because he was celebrating about the Shaurya Divas and paying rich tributes to these brave hearts for protecting the unity and integrity of the country in this Shaurya Divas, the Home Minister or Raksha Mantri said about the Shaurya Divas, okay, which is basically we have seen about that the Shaurya Divas celebrations, which is basically done on October 27 to commemorate the 75th year of air landing operations of Indian Army at the Badgam Airport in 1947, which ensured the first civil military victory of independent India. Civil military क्यों बोलते हैं? Because we can see that during this period of time, the Pakistanis supported this Afghanistan tribal peoples to wage a war against India's Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so the region of Jammu and Kashmir was at that point of time was not acceded towards the country of India. So therefore we could see that यहाँ पे इन लोग का प्लान था कि कैसे श्रीनगर तक पहुंच जाए. But during that period of time, we could see that Maharaja Hari Singh signed the instrument of accession, which landed the Indian military forces in this Badgam airport. Okay, so the Indian military was inducted by the Indian Air Force at Budgam airport to evict the Pakistani forces from the J&K area. And a day after the instrument of accession was signed between Maharaja Hari Singh and Republic of India. So this 27th October is hence celebrated as Infantry Day, and the event was often organized as a part of Azadi का अमृत महोत्सव. तो यहाँ पे रक्षा मंत्री जी के द्वारा यहाँ पे बोला गया है कि टुडे आफ्टर द रिमूवल ऑफ आर्टिकल 370, ठीक है, तो जो हम लोग ने 2019 में हटा दिया था, ठीक है, एंड इट स्टार्टेड न्यू एरा ऑफ पीस एंड प्रोग्रेस इन द यूनियन टेरिटोरी ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. But today we know that the Raksha Mantri has said that we have just evolved our strategy to acquire this region. So we are slowly and slowly moving towards north. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहे हैं कि हम लोग धीरे धीरे करके ऊपर जा रहे हैं, मतलब क्या, वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द गिलगित बल्तिस्तान एरिया. Okay, so now the Raksha Mantri pointed out that some areas which are illegally occupied by Pakistan are still devoid of that progress. And Pakistan is fully responsible for every number of inhuman incidents against the innocent Indians in these POK regions. Okay, so therefore, Shri Rajnath Singh ji stated that this Shaurya Divas gives the nation an opportunity to remember the value of the brave hearts and inspires the people to take the country to greater heights with unity and dedication. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे इसीलिए इन्होंने बात बोला गया है कि लाइक सून द गिलगित बल्तिस्तान इंडिया एरिया और द पीओके एरिया विल सून एक्सीड टू इंडिया. तो यहाँ पे शौर्य दिवस के टाइम में इन्होंने ये स्पीच रखा है. तो टेक माय वर्ड दैट the area of POK or the area of Gilgit-Baltistan as well as the Kashmir area will soon integrate into the united India. ठीक है, तो ये हम लोग को रियलिटी इसी जीवन में हम लोग को देखने को मिलेगा. ठीक है, तो इट इज माय गारंटी. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं. साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट ऑफ डेथ रो विक्टिम्स. सो व्हाट इज दिस थिंग्स एसोसिएटेड. तो यहाँ पे था अबाउट दैट जो डेथ रो के कन्विक्स होते हैं उनके लिए एक साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट होना बहुत जरूरी है. तो ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रिसेंटली बोला है. बिकॉज टुडे वी नो दैट prisoners are very much neglected group in our country, and Indian prisons are traditionally overcrowded spaces with little attention paid to the concerns about their health, comfort, or privacy. Okay, so today, if you see about these prisoners, they are deemed to be not so worthy, and therefore they are receiving some of the inhuman treatment that entirely ignores their needs. तो आज अगर मैं बोलूं about the capital punishment, which is also called a death penalty, is the execution of an offender sentenced to death after conviction by a court of law of a criminal offense, and therefore it is known as the highest penalty awardable to an accused. So the death penalty is seen as the most suitable punishment and effective deterrent for some of the worst crimes. So thus the morality of the death penalty is debatable, and many criminologists and socialists all across the globe have been long demanding the abolition of this death penalty. However, we could see that this mental health of the prisoner before death penalty is very important. Okay, so यहाँ पे हम लोग देखा जाता है कि like the peoples who are mentally disabled, that is the disabled prisoners. So यहाँ पे हम लोग उन लोग का एक proportions हम लोग के यहाँ पे है. Because today we know that the mental illness and intellectual disabilities complicate the death penalty. So the persons with mental illness and intellectual disabilities may not be able to instruct their lawyers to mount a robust defense, thus jeopardizing the right to a free trial enshrined in our Constitution. So the insanity defense in the Indian Penal Code sets such a high barrier that it can't met in most of the cases. So despite these courts do not consider mental illness as a mitigating factor when imposing punishments. तो इसी के लिए यहाँ पे से देखा गया है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के द्वारा यहाँ पे जो साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट है वो देने के लिए यहाँ पे एक मूलता यहाँ पे उन लोग ने बताया गया है. ठीक है, एंड दिस इज डन बाय इवन अ बेंच लेड बाय आवर चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया नाउ यू ललित जी. ठीक है, तो ये था एक छोटा सा न्यूज अबाउट दिस कन्वेक्स. नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं इजराइल लेबानन मैरिटाइम बॉर्डर डील. ठीक है, सो टुडे this is directly a historic agreement that has been signed between Israel and Lebanon, because today we know that this deal was directly brokered by US. Okay, so this Lebanon and Israel, which have reached to a historical deal ending a long running maritime border dispute in a gas rich Mediterranean Sea. तो देख सकते हो यहाँ पे. Okay, so according to these negotiators from the two countries, Lebanon's deputy speaker, okay, said that after submitting the United Nations brokered final draft of the deal to President, that an agreement has been reached that satisfies both the sides. So now यहाँ पे Lebanon has obtained its full rights and all of its remarks have been taken into account. So the two countries are technically at war. लेकिन just because today we could see peace in this region, so यहाँ पे US के interference के through से we have seen about that there is a dispute redressal mechanisms that is growing in between these two states. So, what is the significance of this deal? See, while limited in scope, an agreement may ease security and economic concern between these two countries. And this type of deal would resolve a territorial dispute in the eastern tip of the Mediterranean Sea. तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हो कि एरिया ऑफ डिस्प्यूट कौन सा है, ठीक है. So see in the this area has got a huge exploration of natural gas and near waters where Israel have already found commercially viable quantities of hydrocarbons. So Lebanon had previously had a number of concern about the border, and Lebanon objected to the Kana gas field in a southern Lebanese exploration. So now what the US say that this agreement will provide for the development of the energy fields for both the countries. And therefore, the Biden has said that the president has congratulated the both the leaders on moving forward the deal to establish a permanent maritime boundary. तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हो about the line. ठीक है, कौन सा इजरायली लाइन है, कौन सा लेबानीज लाइन है. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे द इशू दैट इज द डिस्प्यूट ओवर हियर. लेकिन आज फिलहाल के लिए द ब्रोकर हैज बीन डन. ओके, सो ये जो इशू था ये 1948 का एक इशू है, तो आज ये सॉल्व होने के तादाद पे है. Okay, so now the Karish gas fields and the Kana gas fields, that is a prospective gas fields, okay, which is today claimed by both these countries that grown with the respective dispute. So now this coast, while some steps remain for this maritime deal to finalize, but still today we could see that the dispute is slowly getting to settle. ठीक है, तो ये जब सेटल होंगे तो ऑब्वियसली इसराइल एंड लेबानन के बीच में जो मैरीटाइम बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट है वो समय के टाइम में दिस विल डायरेक्टली ईज डाउन सो दैट इट कुड प्रोवाइड सम ऑफ द बेटर सॉल्यूशंस फॉर दिस नेबरिंग कंट्रीज. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं टर्कीज डिसइंफॉर्मेशन लॉ. So what is this Turkish disinformation law? So we see about that recently, okay, the Parliament of Turkey adopted the disinformation law. That is, the law has provisions to jail terms of up to 3 years for social media users and journalists for spreading disinformation. Okay, and this law includes around 40 articles that would amend several other laws. So the Turkish government has argued that it would curb sharing of illegal content under fake names and when anonymous accounts defame individuals of different political thought, religion or ethnicity. This is a very bad practice that is going in the respective country. Okay, तो ये हम लोग का इंडिया में भी है, ऐसा बात नहीं है कि ये बस तुर्की में है. So the critics have directly criticized that the unclear interpretation of this information and the legislation also lacks some of the clarity. Okay, और इसके लिए एक यहाँ पे जो एक तानाशाही वाला लूल है तो यहाँ पे दिखा गया है. ठीक है, सो डियरफॉर अभी ये जो डिसइंफॉर्मेशन लॉ है ये बस उठा गया है. ठीक है, तो अभी देखते हैं ये जो अडॉप्ट किया गया है ये कितना सक्सेसफुल होता है. ठीक है, बिकॉज दिस लॉ हैज प्रोविजंस ऑफ जेल टर्म्स अप टू 3 years फॉर एनी सोशल मीडिया यूजर्स एंड जर्नलिस्ट फॉर इन्फॉर्मिंग डिसइंफॉर्मेशन. तो अभी यहाँ पे बस क्या डिफाइन नहीं है कि व्हाट इज एक्चुअली डिसइंफॉर्मेशन. तो इसीलिए अभी जो अपोजिशन है ये क्रिटिसाइज कर रहा है, तो देखते हैं ये बाद में क्या होता है. तो दिस इज जस्ट अ स्मॉल न्यूज अबाउट दिस टर्की. ओके, तो टर्की यहाँ पे देख सकते हो कि दिस इज द टर्की. दे हैव गॉट अंकारा एज देयर कैपिटल. ओके, सो दे हैव गॉट 2 स्ट्रेट्स दैट इज द सी ऑफ मरमाना, तो यहाँ पे बॉस्फोरस स्ट्रेट बोलते हैं, और ये स्ट्रेट हम लोग बोलते हैं दर्डनली स्ट्रेट. तो यहाँ पे ब्लैक सी है, सो यू कैन सी ब्लैक सी इज डायरेक्टली नॉट अ लैंडलॉक सी जस्ट लाइक कैस्पियन सी. ब्लैक सी का एक्सेस है टुवर्ड्स द मेडिटेरेनियन सी. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे साइप्रस है, वो भी एक डिस्प्यूट है. ओके, सो दैट्स ऑल विद रिस्पेक्टिव टू दिस टर्की. तो यहाँ पे टोरस माउंटेन्स है, यहाँ पे एनाटोलियन माउंटेन्स है. ओके, सो यहाँ पे पॉन्टिक माउंटेन्स है, तो थोड़ा बहुत ये सब देख लेना. ठीक है, लेक टूज है यहाँ पे, दिस इज एलाजिक. ओके, दिस इज यूफ्रेट्स रिवर. ओके, तो यहाँ पे देख लेना, थोड़ा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज टर्की बेसिकली इज इन न्यूज. चलो नेक्स्ट पे आते हैं, दैट इज लास्टली द एडिटोरियल. So what is saying about the editorial? So over the past 3 years, over 50% of the existing central government sponsored schemes have been discontinued, subsumed, revamped, or rationalized in other schemes. So now we have seen that the impact in different sectors as funds are needed for the welfare of the people is very essential. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि how schemes have changed in different ministries. If I analyze about the Union Ministry of Women and Child Development, so there are just 3 schemes now, that is Mission Shakti, Mission Vatsalya, and Saksham Angarwadi and Poshan 2.0 out of कितना 19 schemes. अगर मैं एनिमल हस्बेंड्री एंड डायरी के बारे में बोलूं तो देयर आर 2 schemes remaining out of around 12. So the ministry has also ended 3 schemes which included dairying through cooperatives, national dairy plan, ये सब भी एंड किया गया है. फिर अगर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड फार्मर्स वेलफेयर के बारे में बोलूं तो देयर आर 3 schemes नाउ. कृष्ण योती स्कीम, integrated schemes on agricultural cooperatives, and the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. So out of 20 earlier. So however, the challenges such as funding cuts, disbursement, and utilization of funds still remains despite a reduction in the scheme. So as per the data over here, we could see that 1.2 lakh crore funds meant for central government schemes are with banks and they have not yet utilized. ठीक है, तो ये एक बहुत ज़्यादा कंसर्न है. सो टुडे यू कैन सी दैट व्हाट इज द स्टेटस ऑफ सम ऑफ द एक्टिव स्कीम्स. तो अगर मैं थोड़ा बहुत एक्टिव स्कीम्स के बारे में बोलूँ, आई कैन से अबाउट द निर्भया स्कीम, जहाँ पे 1,000 crore was allocated to the Nirbhaya Fund annually between 2013 to 16, and out of this funds, a large amount have been unutilized. Okay, so if I say about agriculture, farmers are facing problems with the cut in subsidies of fertilizers by the government. For example, government spending, यहाँ पे देख सकते हो example, government spending on fertilizers in इतना is कितना 2021 में इतना था 1,27,000. अभी कितना है? We could see that it is later revised to around 1,40,000 amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. और अभी फिलहाल के लिए कितना है budget allocation? 1,05,000. तो ये कितना कम है यहाँ पे देख सकते हो. And that is the fertilizers with the NPK, that is the nitrogen, okay, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे एम्प्लॉयमेंट गारंटी एक्ट का जो हम लोग का एमजी नरेगा की प्रॉब्लम है, तो वहां पे भी जो इन्वेस्टमेंट है ये 25% कम हो गया है. ठीक है, एज कंपेयर टू द बजट ऑफ 2023, एज कंपेयर टू द बजट ऑफ द ईयर ऑफ 21-22. ठीक है, सो दिस रिडक्शन हैज कम एट अ टाइम व्हेन द डिमांड फॉर जॉब्स इज हायर देन द प्री पैंडेमिक लेवल. So further, we can see that there has been a delay in also the disbursal of these funds. So there has also been the reduction in the actual allocation of budget for other abhiyans such as the Garib Kalyan Abhiyan. तो वहाँ पे भी हम लोग का जितना गरीब कल्याण रोजगार अभियान है, तो वहाँ पे भी हम लोग का थोड़ा डिले देखने को मिल रहा है. वहाँ पे भी हम लोग का जो पैसा है वो कम होते जा रहा है. Even if you see about the health, ठीक है, so there has been delays in the salaries of these ASHA workers. Okay, ये हम लोग का है which has been delayed for up to 6 months. ठीक है, यहाँ पे रेगुलेशन ऑफ देयर जॉब्स कंटिन्यू टू बी स्ट्रगल विद पेजेस एंड ऑनोरियम स्टक एट मिनिमम लेवल्स. Also for the environment, if I say, so environment funding for the wildlife habitat development under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has declined to almost half this year. And there has also been decline in the allocation of Project Tiger, which raises doubt on meeting the climate change obligations. तो यहाँ पे जो कट किया गया है गवर्नमेंट को, गवर्नमेंट का फंडिंग इन दिस रेस्पेक्टिव स्कीम्स, तो ये एक प्रूफ करता है अबाउट द डिसमल केस ऑफ सच नंबर ऑफ कटिंग फंड्स, दैट हाउ यहाँ पे कैसे गवर्नमेंट इन सब चीजों को एक साथ मिला के इस कंट्री को प्रोग्रेस के ग्रोथ पे लेके जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो ये लिखा गया है फिरोज बरुण गांधी जी के द्वारा, ओके, हु इज अ 3 टाइम मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट फ्रॉम द पिलविट एरिया ऑफ लोकसभा कंस्टिट्यूएंसी इन उत्तर प्रदेश. ठीक है, तो देखो अभी फिलहाल के लिए ये कट कैसे इम्पैक्ट करते हैं. तो अगर वो बाद में if there is some of the updates, I will definitely cover that updates in the coming times. ठीक है, चलो, so that's all for today. We have got this MCQs. Please do attempt these MCQs. You will get the answers of these MCQs in tomorrow's PDF. Also do join our WhatsApp as well as the Telegram channel for further updates. So thank you for today. Jai Hind.